Yeah, most of you don't do well on a pretest, which is fine. It's a pretest. It doesn't count for against your grade. All right, so I can write an equation in slope-intercept form by identifying the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so slope-intercept form, just review, is this. Where slope is, or the y-intercept, 0, b, and that's my slope. Slope is a map that finds you second point once you establish one map. Yes? Okay, and so that's just one of the forms, but we will go to all the different ways quite a bit. All right, so first thing was we want to find the slope. Guys and girls, if you haven't figured this out already, this is going to be a go-to equation. We will not be giving this to you. You have to know how to do it. You know, have to know how to generate it. I like it because, you know, if Y is like an I, you know, in the alphabet, that spells mix, and that's how you might remember it.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
So Y makes an I sound, right? Sometimes in English.
No, me.
We'll go with meeks. Yo.
After you find the slope, how are you going to find the y-intercept?
We're going to hit it. We're going to get you. All right, so let's just warm up on this real quick, and then we'll get exactly to your question. So x2, y2, x1, y1. Now, I purposely went backwards on these for a reason, because I want you to realize it doesn't have to be x1, y1, x2, y2. You can flip-flop them. It doesn't matter. It's still going to give you the same slope. There is one and only one line that is defined by two different points. Does that make sense? There's infinite lines that are defined by one line, or one point, but if you have two different points, two different xy values, whether it's vertical, horizontal, or some sort of negative slope or positive slope, there's one and only one line. So, if we plug in what we know, so we have y2 minus y1, so I got negative 5 minus 3, 2 minus 6, so I get negative 8 over negative 4, which comes out to positive 2. So the slope through these points is 2. Okay, again, this is review. Should feel. I just saw a kid go by on crutches. Sure, I'm kidding. He went down the stairs. Over.
Okay.
Somebody has my sense of humor. All right. I noticed on this one, I went back to x1, y1, x2, y2. Yes? Okay. So again, you decide how you go on and label it, and it's not incorrect how you label it as long as the ones go with the ones and the twos go with the twos. All right. So again, my slope equation. I'm going to get 2 minus 5 and 6 minus 0. This gives me negative 3 over 6. And then go ahead and reduce it, and you should be pretty darn good at reducing fractions. Is it wrong if it's not reduced? Technically not, but I will warn you that on tests, if it's multiple choice, we'll have the reduced version for an answer. But if it's like handwritten, if it was multiple choice, then we would have a reduced answer. If it wasn't multiple choice, then we would, I would accept negative 3 over 6. So negative 3,000 over 6,000. And then you get kicked back. Can I do that? No, you can't. All right. Feeling okay so far? Happy? It is Friday, right? Friday the 13th. Good. That reminds me, I got a funny little story to tell you in a little bit. But, all right. So, equation of a line. This is slope-intercept form. Everyone say yes to that?
Yes.
Good. So slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. But what we have to be very cautious of, guys and girls, b is the y-intercept. So if it's called the y-intercept, that means the y-intercept is a point. Okay? Please always understand that the y-intercept, yes, it is the b value of this equation, but the y-intercept is a point. Okay, so if you start labeling, what's the y-intercept? 3. No, you're going to get it wrong. It should be 0, 3. So please realize that the y-intercept is an actual point. It's nothing it's not just a number or a numeric value. Now, on the written portion of the test, I was like, yeah, you got it. Okay? So I told you that. So I'm not going to take away. So those are the things. So this is our equation, slope-intercept form. Again, this is a great equation that you need to get very comfortable with. Now, on a side note, guys and girls, from here on out, we are going to be using the graphing calculators. Okay? TI-83 or 84 are what we recommend. Now, if you do not have a TI-83 or an 84 graphing calculator, that's fine. You can rent one from our math science resource room. And you can keep it for the whole year. Okay? Does it come with fresh batteries? Probably not. You'll probably have to put, new batteries in it. But if you don't have a graphing calculator, rather than going out and spending $100 on it, I think it's between $20 and $30 to rent for the entire year from our math science resource room. Of course, if you lose it, you have to pay for the additional to pay for it. Yeah.
Double A or triple A?
I don't remember. You'll have to find out when you get it. It's one of those two. Okay? And they do last pretty well as long as you don't leave it in your car. Nope, that's not it. Oh, wait. No, that might be. I didn't see the whole thing.
Are they required for this class?
Double A battery. Yep, that's the perfect one right there. So, how did you borrow this? So this is the perfect calculator for you to use for this class. I'm showing that so it's on video. Okay? TI-84, TI-83, both of them work well. If, and I'm not trying to grandstand this for anybody, and I don't need you to be, it's Greek. If you cannot afford to rent it, you need to let your counselor know. Your counselor then will provide you with a voucher that will allow you to rent it. If you can't afford to rent it, that's fine, but if you happen to lose it, you are required to pay for it. Okay? So, if that is something that, $20 is too much, you can't afford it, then don't do it. Yeah?
Are we required to have a calculator, or?
I need you to have this calculator. If you don't have it, you're going to miss a lot of problems. Okay? Catch you what? You can use it on tests. Yeah, absolutely. Huh?
You need a calculator.
That means you need a calculator.
Yes. I will
No,
take it.
it's Una calculator.
You got it. All right. So, give the equations for the following lines in slope-intercept form. So, I can look at this and figure out the equation pretty easily from the graph. So, 0, b is my y-intercept. What is my y-intercept up here?
Negative 3.
-3. So, what is the point then?
-3.
No, what is the point?
0,
0, -3. So, this is the point, 0, -3, where your b value happens to be -3. Agreed? So this -3 is going to get plugged in right there. So right now, so far, we know y equals mx plus -3 or just -3. Is that okay so far? We can find the slope. We have to find 2 points that work. I know that this point definitely works. So then I have to look at it for another location where it crosses. Well, it doesn't kind of cross at a fraction here, a fractional amount here. Looks like it works right there. What point is that? What point is it?
Negative.
What? I heard it. What? 3, -1. 3, -1. Okay. So I can either find the slope or I can just count up and do the slope. So I'm going to go from here to here. So I'm going to count up 2. Up is positive, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to count right 3. Is right positive as well?
Yeah.
So what is my slope of this?
2/3.
2/3. So this went up 2 and then over 3. So 2/3 is my slope. Now I can figure out the rest of this equation. Y equals 2/3x minus 3. So that is the linear equation that goes with this line. So sometimes when you have a graph that's drawn, you can figure out the y-intercept pretty easily. Okay? Sometimes it might not cross the y-intercept at an exact value, so you have to be cautious of that. But sometimes it'll cross at an exact value, which is easier to find. Is there any questions on that? How that problem worked? Feeling okay? All right. Problem number 2. Okay. So again, I'm going to use y equals mx plus b, which is slope-intercept, correct? Where the y-intercept is the point 0, comma, what in the relation to this problem? 4. Well, it's b right here, but you're going to say 4, right?
Yeah.
So our b value is 4. So right now I know y equals mx plus 4. Agreed? Now I'm showing you every step. Are there certain steps you'll be able to skip? Yes. I'm just showing you every step so you can see the thought process going through. So this is definitely a point right here. And I'd say this is also a point. What point does this one right here appear to be? 2, comma 3. Good. Okay. So I'm going to go down 1. If I go down, is that positive or negative? Negative. And I'm going to go right 2. Is that positive or negative? Positive. So down 1, right 2. So what's my slope if I went down 1, right 2?
Negative 1/2.
Negative 1 over 2. Awesome.
Can you write like negative x over 2?
Well, your slope isn't just a fraction. The slope is not an x. That's a great question. Your slope does not include x. Your slope is just the numeric value or the fraction that is in front of x. So then, if I know this, I can now plug that in here. So I'm going to get y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 4. So this is the linear equation that works. This is the slope-intercept form that works with this equation. Again, things that I knew, I did know my y-intercept, and I was able to find the slope just by counting. Is this okay? Anything about this that's kind of like, wait a minute. Yeah.
So I have a question. So if there is a perfect intersection of a point,
Mm-hmm.
you would find the first one. So to make sure.
Yeah.
So like right here. So you would find like the first one.
Uh-huh.
And then that would be it.
That'd be it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you're just counting from the y-intercept.
Okay.
So I think what you're saying here, let's do this. Let's put our dots. So this right here is my y-intercept right there, right? And then you went for your other point right here.
Yeah.
And that's all I did is I just counted between those points. Cool. All right. Moving on. Ooh! This is one of our special cases. This is a special case. This is what kind of line? It's horizontal. Horizontal line has what for a slope?
0.
0. Awesome. Okay, so let's list what we know about this. This is a horizontal line. Everyone feels comfortable. Horizontal lines always have a slope of 0. Now, hang on before you shout it out. Horizontal lines are x equals a number or y equals a number? Y equals a number. Awesome. So horizontal lines are always y equals a number. So here, right here is my y-intercept. Agreed? Which is 0, 3. So my y-intercept up here, my b, which is my y-intercept, is going to be the point 0, comma 3. So I have 3 here, I have 3 here, I have 3 here, I have 3 here. 3 and 3 and 3. 3 goes forever to that way, it goes forever to this way. So if it's my y-intercept is 3, my slope is 0, watch what happens in this equation. So if we knew our slope was 0, what is 0 times x? 0. So my equation is going to be y equals b. What is my b value? 0.
3.
0, 3.
That's my b value right there, right? So y equals what?
3.
Okay? The slope of that is 0. That reason why the slope of this is 0 is because if I plug 0 in and it goes 0 times x, I get 0. This doesn't have any rise to it. If I had my slope equation, I would have two identical values that were in the numerator that I subtract, which becomes 0. So this is one of our special cases. Vertical lines are x equals a number, and they are undefined slope. Good. Okay, I don't know, maybe that's the next one, I'm not sure. Nope, oh, wait, not too many. All right. Okay, so there's 4 types of ways to write these problems. You have the slope and the y-intercept, so you both know m and b. So if I know both m and b and I use y equals mx plus b, what would this equation be?
Y equals 1 half x plus 2.
Done. So that's when you know both m and b. And then we know our b value. Which one up there is our b value on number 2? It's up there though. Which point is our b value up there?
0.
Yeah, this gives me my b value right here. Okay? Because the reason is think about what this is doing. If you had this on a linear equation, you don't go, if it's 0, you're not going right or left at all, you're just going up, or in this case going down -3. So far we know this. We have y equals mx plus b. So right now I know y equals mx minus 3. Right? So then if you were to graph this scenario, let's do this one in blue, 0, -3 down here, and then 2, 5, right up here, agreed? So if we just count, we count up, is up positive?
Negative.
So up is positive, right?
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to go over to the right. Is right positive?
Yes.
I'm going to go over 2. So 8 over 2. So my slope is 8 over 2. 8 over 2 is the same as what? 4. So y equals 4x minus 3. So there is, bless you, there is the opportunity for you to do that. So guys and girls, just so you're catching on, this goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it went up 8. And then it went over 2. Okay? Do we feel okay? That seems to make sense so far. All right. So now we have a slope of 3, and we need to find b. So let's see. I have y equals mx plus b is my equation. Everyone agree? My slope is what?
3.
3. All right. I have a point, though, that's right here. A point is an x and a y value. Agree? So is 2x, is 2 the x value? Is -1 the y value?
Yes.
So, hang on. Let's see. This is an x value. This is a y value. Now, I'm not going to assign x sub 1 and y sub 1 and x sub 2 and y sub 2 with this, because I just know those are that. So, on this problem right now, I need to find b. I don't know what b is. I have, so far, y equals 3x plus b. So what do you think you can do with this x and y value to get that b value? So, I think you nailed it. So, my y value up there is what?
-1.
-1. So I get -1 equals, my slope is what?
3.
3. My x value is what?
2.
And then plus b. 3 times 2 is?
6.
Plus b. How would I get b by itself? Yeah, just old school subtracting 6. So b is equal to -7. Yes? So now I found out what b is, so I can now take that and plug it in here. So my equation is y equals 3x minus 7. Look at that. So sometimes I have a slope that I'm given, and then a y-intercept. Carson, you're able to you did the computer part too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your computer back over there? Thank you. All right. Hey, is this the y-intercept?
No.
This is the x-intercept, isn't it?
That is
And I don't have a slope, so I need to find m and b both. I need to find m and b both. Okay, so let's just bring that up a little bit. All right, so I think on this one, I'm just going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. And I think if I find the slope first, that might help us. Is that okay? All right, let's plug in what we know. So let's find the slope. I have m equals 0 minus 3, 4 minus 2. 0 minus 3 is -3. 4 minus 2 is 4 plus 2, which is? Okay, so far with this equation, I know m. Agreed? I don't know b, though. I don't know b. Thoughts? Yeah.
I think that plug the y value for the y and then equals the -2 in for the x.
Okay. What about the 4 and the 0?
1 to 0.
That's a good thought. Hang on. So what I want to do here on this problem. So some of you might say, well, I'll plug that in for x, I'll plug that in for y, and I can solve for b. And some of you are like, well, wait a minute. What if I plug that in for x and I plug in that for y and I solve for b? Let's check it out. What do I know so far on my problem so far? What do we feel comfortable that we know? It's in green.
Sorry, slope is
I know the slope is -1/2, so I know y equals -1/2 x plus b. So let's see what would happen if I had this. So I know this for sure. Okay, so I'm going to do this two different ways. I'm going to use -2 and 3, and I'm going to use 4 and 0. I'm going to plug them both into the exact same equation, so I know that's an x value and that's a y value. So let's see what happens here. I get 3 equals -1/2 times -2 plus b. And what's -1/2? Negative times negative is positive. What's half of 2? 1. And then how would I solve this? Subtract 1 from both sides. Okay, cool. So I got b equals 2. So that means that my equation using that point is going to be this. What do you think? But you have the skeptics saying, but I had this as a x and y value. Okay. So again, I'm still going to use the equation we came up with. So my y value here is what?
0.
0. What's my slope's -1/2? What's my x value?
4.
Plus b. Okay, 0 is just 0. What is negative times positive is negative? What's half of 4?
2.
2 plus b. How would I get b by itself right here? Add 2. Okay. So this equation here is going to be this. And I will tell you that this equation here and this equation here are completely different. Are they not? No, they're the same.
So you do it either way.
Exactly. Now, I said, there was a reason I said this earlier in today's lecture. How many points do I need to define one line? 2. Are there 2 points on that? There are. And I just showed you that, okay, I feel comfortable finding the slope. Here's the slope. But I just showed you if I found the slope, and it doesn't matter if I use this as my xy or this is my xy, if you plug it in, you, lo and behold, get the exact same thing. Because 2 points define one and only one line. These are the exact same equation. Agree? Yes, I understand one's in red and one's in blue. What do you think? So if you're given 2 points, find the slope first, and then use y equals mx plus b because you found the slope, and pick one of your points as your x and y value. You'll plug one of those in to figure out your b value, and then you're finished. This is really rich stuff. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. All right. So we learned this. I know that that's the point 0, 3. I know this is the point 1, 2. How does he know that? Because it's just functional notation. So this is the function at 0. It gives me 3. This is a y component. So the function at 0 is also the same thing as my x value. This is the function at 1, gives me 1. Okay? So let's go through. Let's find the slope first. Again, this is an equation you need to know. I will always write it. So I get a slope of -1. Agree? What's the next step? I'm going to use this equation. What do I know on this equation so far?
That -1/1 is 0.
So what am I trying to solve for right now on this equation at this point?
The y-intercept.
Y-intercept, which is what letter?
B.
B. Trying to solve that. Agreed? Okay. So then I'm going to pick one of these. That doesn't matter. I'll just pick that, plug it in. So that's going to give me 3 equals -1 times 0 plus b. What's -1 times 0? 0. So 3 is equal to b. So my linear equation is y equals -x or 1x plus 3. Do I need to have that 1 right there?
No.
That's not necessary. Make sure you have the negative sign. So it's your choice if you want to put it there or not. We do. We're not done yet. All right, let's figure this one out. Slope, x1, y1, x2, y2. Still with me? Slope is equal to 10 minus 4, -1 minus 2. So I get 6 over -3, which gives me, what's 6 over -3? Is it positive or negative? Negative 6 over 3 is then?
-2.
Okay, and again, I'm going to use y equals mx plus b. I know my m value is -2. So I'm just going to pick one of my values, plug it in. Doesn't matter which one. I'll just choose this one. So I'm going to get 4 equals -2 times 2 plus b. 4 equals -4 plus b. What's b equal to?
4.
Positive 8, isn't it? Y equals -2x plus 8. What do you think? Number 7, I'm pretty... What's that?
It's so interesting. That means interesting.
Well, thank you. So, your homework is page 98 and 99. Page 98 and 99. It goes exactly with these notes.
Can we leave?
Have a great day, everybody. Take care of one another.